All right, episode 2 of BMF season 3. So we got Meech and Terry. Both of those men are actually out here putting in some work because in the beginning parts of it, it was like they lost a plug, I guess Cena. They was trying to like find like a new plug. And as we've seen how, Meech was kind of like trying to get like, Glock, trying to go over Glock to try to like find a new plug. And then he's talking with Angel. He's speaking with her, and he's convincing her to give up, I guess, like a location of a plug. And she's like, oh, there's this Santiago guy. So he tries to go talk to him, but then it's like, there is no Santiago. And then some guy, Loco, shows up, and he's like, what's going on? And then it's just like a whole big war right now because it's like everybody's trying to like vie for positions and spots where, there's one group that wants to be top dog, and then you have another side that also wants to be top dog. So it's just like everybody wants to like vie for that position of being in control. And then you seen like how, Terry had to go over to Royal Oak. He had to go over to her to try to like get some sort of work at the time because it was like, they plug was going. So she agreed to the terms of going into like, getting into work with them. And I mean, as we seen like towards the end, like since Meech pulled through, it was just like he doesn't really need to like mess with Royal Oak like that anymore. But then she's gonna be pissed off about it because it was like technically they had an agreement, but Terry was just like, well, we did have an agreement, but it wasn't like nothing was finalized. So it's just like that's gonna be a whole thing, and I'm pretty sure there probably might be a little bit of a war. It probably might be a little bit of a war because it's like, Terry did agree to working with her. So we seen that happen. And then we seen how, like Brian is trying to like, I guess he talks with an old friend. Like an old friend. He talks to him and he's trying to see if he can, get some lawyers to, get his son, the best care and the best treatment. But it's just like, he's kind of like signing a deal with the devil. He's kind of like signing a deal with the devil because it's just like, I mean, he is the father towards Royal Oak. Royal Oak, that damn name, Royal Oak. Like when I think of that name, it's like Royal Oak. I don't know, but he has like some sort of like dealing with him, but it's just like obviously something bad is gonna actually happen there. And then we've seen like more into the story of Meech where he's like, like I said before, he's trying to like get more connections in Atlanta. And it's not just a plug though. It's not just a plug because he already got that, but it's just like he's trying to like expand even further. But it's just like there's more problems and complications. And then at the same time, Terry has a problem of his own because you already have like Jen and Kobe where they already tried to like investigate like Saint's death. And they've already got like a guy, I guess his name is either Klutz, I believe. So they already have him. And then, they was following him and obviously surveillance and taking pictures. And that's when they track him down where, Terry's basically at the diner. He's eating with everybody. And it's just like, oh, like, what's going on? So they're already trying to, like, put the knots together to try to figure, like, okay, maybe Terry was the one to have ordered the death of Saint. Like, maybe he put the hit out on him. But, again, we all going to see what's going to actually happen because it's like they're not going to really get anything. That's what it really is because it's like, again, like I said before, these guys go down in 2007. So it's like whatever little plan that they're going to try to concoct is obviously going to fail because – again, the Flannery brothers got. I think what in the documentary they said. I think they got away with it for what? It was longer than 15 years. It had to been like maybe 20 plus years they got away with it until eventually they got. Well, I think he said it was either 15, but I would like to lean on to like maybe longer than 15. I wouldn't say 20, but roughly around there. You can say that they got away with it until eventually they got caught in 2007, right? So. They trying to like pull like some sort of investigation there. And I will tell you this up front, Wanda, they don't make women like her anymore. They really don't. They don't make women like Wanda anymore because despite Terry cheating, because, Markeisha, see, I don't know. That's why I said when it comes out to like Markeisha's character, she's always loosey-goosey. And it's like with women like that who's like loosey-goosey, you can't be like messing around with them because they flip-flop and it's like 1 minute they say, oh, I'm interested, right? We could do this together, but then all of a sudden it's just like, no, as she said, like, yeah, got the house, but she don't want Terry in it, and they could just like date separately. He's like, listen. This action figure is not sold separately. We can't do this here. It's either it comes together or you're not getting it at all. So it's just like, listen, he had to leave, but then he goes back to Wanda, and he's just like, nah, let's be a family. But that's not gonna last that long. That Wanda and that ain't gonna last that long, because he's gonna go back to Markeisha, because it's Terry. Like, you know, he's flip flopping as well. So it's just like he's not gonna stay with one woman. He's just gonna he's gonna go back to Markeisha. He's gonna go back to her. But the thing too is just like when you look at the rest of the Flannery family, where, you know, Charles is, you know, around. He's not really doing much these days. Lucia, it seems like she's gonna be going out with, I guess, Monty Claire, the doctor, right? And we already know that development. We already know that development, because it's just like she's not in love with Charles anymore. It's like you saw how she was in the mirror thinking about the doctor, and then Charles come in there. Hey, baby, you look beautiful. Good night, Charles. I just love how Charles' facial expression, his facial expression sometimes kill me, though, because if you looking at him and he'd be like, all right, man, all right, I go to my room. I was like, come on now. But overall, this episode was good. This episode was good because it shows a lot of these things that's like, again, progressing to the story. Because, I mean, we've already seen, you know, the Connect, Loco, I guess, like, you know, the Connect that came out, that was basically like this Ty Washington's like plug, so he got that down now, right? I'm pretty sure Meech and Greenie, they're gonna have more words at each other, because I guess Angel was Greenie's girl, I believe. So he's gonna be like, nah. Meech over here doing some wild stuff. So I mean, I don't really see them. I don't know. I think that there's gonna be like some sort of tension, or there's already tension, but there's gonna be something more to that, as Meech is trying to expand into Atlanta. But again, we do know in the story that he does go to California for like a little bit. That he's in Atlanta for a while, but then we know he goes to California. So I'm kind of wondering like how that transition is gonna be when he actually leaves and he has to go to California for like a little while, and then he pick up the work there, and then eventually he comes back to Atlanta. So I'm just like, okay, like him going from California, then Detroit, and then maybe back to Atlanta. Because again, like I said, it was already proven in the documentary that Meech was everywhere. And then eventually, the big party that Meech is actually gonna throw for everybody. Like we seeing like the biggest party the man ever threw in I guess in party history or whatever. So we gonna be waiting to see on that as well. And I guess more complications that's going to come, because we already know that sooner or later Brian is going to come back into the fold, and he will go back after Meech and Terry again. I would assume probably like the only reason why he might come back, I would assume maybe Jen dies. I'm thinking Jen, because we do know he does get like a new partner. So I'm thinking Jen probably dies at one point, and then it's just like, all right, the war's back on. He wants Meech and Terry again. I mean, right now he's focusing on his son. I'm trying to get his son cleared, but I'm thinking like if Jen dies, because I mean they kind of already teasing it already that, you know, Jen is she's not thinking about Brian, but it was just like when her dad was telling her like, oh, what happened to your partner? She was just like, nah, he was drawn out of the line. So, and he said like drawing out of the lines, can show a better picture. So I'm like, we'll see. Kobe seems cool, but I mean, I don't know. I think with her death, it might piss him off and be like, the Flannery brothers, they didn't have something. Well, they sort of had something to do with her death, but they didn't intentionally kill her. So I'm thinking like that's probably going to be the trigger of Brian going to be like, all right, he lost basically two essential partners to the Flannery brothers. And he's like, nah, that's it. I want them back. So again, well, he want them again. So again, we just going to have to like wait and see. But you know, comment down below what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you all in the next one.